Murakoze. Yoo-hoo! My name is Byos Melody. I'm an artist, music artist. Also, I'm a co-owner of a basketball team.
I will now welcome Claire Akamanzi from NBA Africa, who will be joined by Byos Melody, a very own Rwandan musician. And they will also be joined by Eugene Ubarijoro from Molson Coors. Thank you so much. And like I said, we have so many exciting sessions in store for you. And so please stay excited. We're really looking forward to hearing from you all. Thank you for joining us today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Excellency First Lady, it's a pleasure to have you here. You're making this Rwanda Day very special for us. Now, talking after Masai Ujiri is a tall order. Wasn't that a very powerful and inspiring speech? My name is Eugene Ubarijoro, and I'm extremely honored to be part of this economic development panel, which is going to be focusing on sports and entertainment. I live and work in Dallas, Texas. It's always a pleasure for me to be back here in Washington, D.C., because this is where I went to school. Georgetown University is my alma mater. Let me give you a little snapshot of my professional journey. I started working in the beverage industry 34 years ago with Yakorew in Rwanda. My career has spanned 3 continents: Africa, Europe, and the Americas. And I've held increasingly senior commercial and general management positions in Rwanda, the DRC, France, La Réunion, the US, the Netherlands, and Ethiopia. Today, I'm the regional vice president for Molson Coors, responsible for the central part of the US, and I oversee a business of $1.6 billion. Now, sports has always been a strong passion point for me. In high school, I was captain of a varsity soccer team playing center midfield. While working for Yakorew, I played point guard for the company's basketball team. Nowadays, I enjoy long road cycling, and thank God for Peloton. I'm able to jump on my Peloton 3 to 4 times a week. And I also try to clock in at least one 10K run per week. When I was younger, I used to actually play basketball with Minister Biruta. And believe it or not, Minister Biruta has a very sharp jump shot. I'm married. I have 3 children. And although I've been an expatriate for the last 27 years, I do go back home almost every year with my wife who's here and my children. Going back to home for me is extremely important because that's where my roots are. Claire, Byos, you want to introduce yourself as well?
Murakoze. Yoo-hoo! My name is Byos Melody. I'm an artist, music artist. Also, I'm a co-owner of a basketball team. United Generation Basketball, cyangwa se UGB. This is a great opportunity for me as a young Rwandan who has been in Rwanda since I was born. I'm now 31 years old. Nk'uko Minisita bivuze kare, I'm not young anymore. Nishimiye kuba ndaha ndi no kumwe n'abantu beza nkamwe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, First Lady, Honorable Ministers, and everybody. Good afternoon. So today is my 11th day as NBA Africa CEO. If you asked me 11 months ago to imagine that I would be CEO Africa and NBA Africa, I would have said you're 11 times crazy. But speaking about the power of vision, that vision that started in 2016 with the president holding his head and asking about how to build an arena, that power of vision is the reason that I'm here today as the CEO of NBA Africa. When a country invests in a very bold way, opens opportunities that you'd never have thought imagined for a country, even us, Muri Rwanda, we benefit. And that's exactly what we see today. I spent the first 19, close to 20 years of my life working for the government of Rwanda, focusing on private sector growth and economic development. And today I'm transitioning to the private sector. So thank you again and very good to be here. And to start our conversation, Eugene, Masai talked very clearly about the power of a sports economy. He talked about the facilities and what they do to create opportunities for people. And I think in Rwanda and the rest of the world, we've seen that in a very clear way. So you, please start us off. What do you see as the opportunity, where the examples we can see, and how can we drive that home even more? Thank you.
Thank you, Claire, for that question. Now, I discovered the power of sports and music with Heineken and Coca-Cola. Basically, these two multinationals have understood quite early that the best way to connect with consumers is through sponsorship of music and sports. Heineken does it with UEFA's Champions League or Primus Guma Guma. Coca-Cola does it with the World Cup. But for these sponsorship deals to be meaningful, you need to have facilities, right? Now, I want to use two very powerful examples to illustrate my point. The first one has to do with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, arguably, the Dallas Cowboys is probably one of those most valuable national football franchise in the country. Its owner, Mr. Jerry Jones, in 2009, decided to build a state-of-the-art stadium in Arlington, right outside of DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth. This stadium has a capacity of 105,000 people. It's nestled between two other stadiums, a baseball stadium and a college football stadium. Now, in 2018, some investors, a group of investors, smelled a great opportunity. They decided to basically create an entertainment venue called Texas Live. Google it. In a way, it's like Zaria Courts. So what is Texas Live? Texas Live is a unique, basically mix of entertainment, restaurant, and accommodation, which basically combines an amazing entertainment district. In the last 5 years, this small venue has morphed into a huge entertainment district, attracting more than $1 billion in business, in additional business. Okay? So when Molson Coors partners with the Cowboys, Molson Coors is winning with consumers that goes through Texas Live, Molson Coors is winning with consumers that go to the stadium, and Molson Coors is winning with consumers that buy our products in hotels, in supermarkets, and restaurants. A second powerful example I want to use here is the Sphere in Las Vegas. Have you heard of the Sphere in Las Vegas? Now, the Sphere in Las Vegas was just basically opened in September of last year. It offers immersive experience through the use of cutting-edge technology, using massive LED displays on its exterior. Now, the band U2, an Irish band, has been playing there since the month of September, and they've been selling out their shows, ever since. The Sphere is the definition of what entertainment is going to be for the next foreseeable future. The Sphere has basically redefined what entertainment standards should be. Now, as Masai mentioned, these two examples illustrate how sports arenas, entertainment stadiums can basically create an ecosystem. These two examples have basically paved the way for new businesses, new employment, new opportunities, investment opportunities, and they've shown how they can be a strong economic multiplier for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Those are the examples I wanted to use, Claire. Now, Claire, can you tell us how the NBA can be an engine for economic transformation for Rwanda in particular and Africa in general?
Thank you, Eugene. First of all, do we have any basketball fans here? Any NBA followers? So NBA has invested in Africa. And the reason that NBA has chosen to invest in Africa is because we just cannot ignore Africa. When it comes, first of all, to the numbers, the demographics, in 25 years, 25% of the world population will be African. 1 in every 4 people in the world will be African. And while the rest of the world is aging, Africa is young. We have young people, we have youthful energy, and if any business is thinking about talent, thinking about skills, thinking about driving productivity, consumption, the consumer for the future, there's no way you can avoid Africa. And that's why the NBA chose to settle in Africa as well. But I think Masai did talk about excellence that Africa shows on the world stage. I think that's very true. 50 players in the NBA today are from Africa, either directly from Africa or one of their parents was born in Africa. 50 players, that's 10% of NBA. In fact, the reigning MVP, the most valuable player today, is Joel Embiid from Cameroon. I think that's an example of African excellence. But we don't see African excellence only in sports. We talk about sports and entertainment. If you look at African music on the world stage today, if you look at the arenas that Burna Boy can fill in New York, in London, if you look at the collaborations, you look at Chris Brown playing with Davido, you look at our very own Bruce Melody with Shaggy on the world stage. That is African excellence. And it's not just in sports or music, but we see it in fashion. If you go to Paris or Milan, today you see African fashion. If you look at art, I was reading a New York Times article recently, and for the first time an African piece of art sold for more than $1 million was only 2004. Today, there are 11 art pieces from Africa that have sold for $1 million and more. That is Africa's excellence on the world stage. Now, it's not just $1 million, but even in our own very Rwanda, tourists come from all over the world, and they go to buy art pieces. Many of you know Inema Gallery. If you look at the art pieces that Inema Gallery is selling to tourists that come to Rwanda, an average price of $10,000 for an art piece made in Rwanda, that can only grow, the price can only grow. Compared to traditional sectors like coffee and tea and vegetables that we grow, which are very important because we need agriculture. But how many kilos do you have to sell? Do you have to sell of coffee or tea in order to make 10,000 from one art piece? This is the future of a creative economy, and I think Africa's excellence is very much clear on the world stage. And this is why within the NBA, we decided to invest in Africa. And today, if you look at what we've put in place from junior programs for the very young Africans from the age of 6 to 14, we have something called Basketball Without Borders that has drafted 10 players into the NBA. We have an NBA academy in Senegal. Now, very interesting is we have a Basketball Africa League, the only other league outside the NBA on the African continent. This year, we shall be going to our 4th season. And for the last 3 seasons, we've had the playoffs in Rwanda. and the finals. But what is interesting, again, the power of vision, is that when the Basketball Africa League was going to start in 2021, it was in the middle of COVID. The only country that gave confidence that you can actually have a basketball league happening during COVID safely was Rwanda. So all the games happened in Rwanda at the time. There was an arena, there was a collaborating government, there was good management of COVID-19, and the successful launch of Basketball Africa League at the time means that today we're going to be starting the 4th season this year. Now, talking about music and talking about the Basketball Africa League, in our very first season, again, the intersection between sports and entertainment, the Basketball Africa League partnered with Bruce Melody and produced a song called Game On. Maybe we'll start by showing you a little bit before I hand over to Bruce Melody to give his comments as well. Game On.
Face my failures, but I know I'll get there, yeah. Let's say game, yeah, but I'm a different player. Swim with the sharks, but I stay underwater. It's my snare, never home. I gotta prove it, yeah. My life's a movie, yeah. They try to break me, but I'm never losing, yeah. Yeah, I'm paving my way. Problems sideways, I'm blowing now.
Well, that was a surprise. Yeah. As I said, I'm from Kigali, I'm from Rwanda. I was born and raised there, and that's where I started my career as an artist. Talking about entertainment facilities, as you mentioned, it has been very, very hard for an artist like me to perform or to organize your own event. But you remember when I launched my 10 years event, like my 10 years celebration of my career in Kigali Arena. That's when I realized like our entertainment has been doing it for a long time. And I would say that these entertainment facilities put our country on the global stage. It promotes our culture, and those who come to our country, they go back with our culture and they go back with our music. That's how we become promoted. I'll give you an example. One of the guy whose name is Steve. He's one of the members of the record label here in America, which is called Carve Records. He heard my music when he was in Kigali, and he liked my songs. He contacted me, and now I'm working with Hollywood. Through that person, and that's where the collab with Shaggy came from. So, back in the days, I used to go when I started to travel, trying to promote my music, I used to go outside of the country. And when I said I'm from Rwanda, people used to confuse it. They'll be like, you Rwanda, Uganda? I'll be like, no, I'm from Rwanda. But now, here we are. Last year, I came here in America. I did my tour to promote my music. And everywhere I went, they know Rwanda, and they know us very well. So it's very, very good. As I said, I was born in 92. To some, at the point, I was like, maybe I was born in the wrong timing, or what? But not really, because I'm happy that I have seen all these 30 years with my own eyes. I've seen the country growing. It was very hard for the last time, because performing in front of people like you, people used to be sad to the point that you tell them to clap and they cannot. Through the entertainment and all this, we entertain people. People are happy back at home. Have you heard about this comedy and music, basketball, football? So this, if it wasn't the entertainment facilities, this could not be happening like this. Thank you.
And maybe if I can come in there, I saw from the statistics that Francis from RDB and his colleagues shared, when you have facilities like those, it's not just about sports. I think RDB just released their statistics. They made $92 million from mice holding events in Rwanda, of which close to 15% was sports events. But when you have an arena like that, I think what we've seen also from Rwanda is that you host sports events, yes. You host music concerts. We saw Kendrick Lamar and many others, Boys II Men, among others, come to Rwanda to participate in the arena. But we also see music, gospel music, Israel Mbonye, filling up the stadium. So from sports to traditional music, gospel, and then you see Hunger Pitch Fest, a technology event in the arena. So I think our message is, when you have facilities like that, they're multi-purpose, they're economic driver, you can make money, 15% of mice from that, and this is what we're telling other countries as well in Africa. Don't look at it as sports only, look at it as an economic driver, and you can actually make money from running these events in your country. But it's not just the money, it's also the jobs. Come to think about what it takes to run a league, a sports league, like the Basketball Africa League. How many jobs you actually create? You have players that play the game, you have coaches, you have referees, you have managers, you have medical team, you have nutritionists, you have sound engineers, you have camera people, you have lawyers because you have contracts to sign, you have marketing people. The number of jobs are just immense, and that's really the story. It's job creation.